Hey, this is Alan Curtis Meisner, otherwise known as the Dragonmancer. Or, since I have my Santa Claus hat, well, I don't know if you'd be allowed to get away with calling me Santa Claus, but hey. But of course, as ever with me are my lovely assistants, the tortoise, the mouse, and the eagle. Now, basically, one of the things that's been on my mind is, of course, Christmas. At this recording, it's Thanksgiving Day, just about to draw to a close, and tomorrow is, of course, what is known as Black Friday. That moment when everyone has lots and lots of money and is ready to start off the Christmas shopping sprees, where everyone lines up for practically, it seems like, miles and miles in an effort to be the first shoppers of Christmas. And that's kind of the thing that it bothers everyone. I have to be honest with you, I'm somewhat concerned, but at the same time I also have to recognize that that even without the commercialism, eventually we would reach a point where we would end up ceasing to care about Christmas. But when you really think about it, one of the things that I like best about the holiday season is the fact that people do seem to be a bit more cheerful and friendly. They're friendly in other days of the year, but this seems to be the year in which people are at their best. Sometimes it can also be the day in which they're at their worst. I think we call those guys Scrooges. There might be some who might quote the words of Ebenezer Scrooge, not only in his words, bah humbug, but they might also, they might also quote other words like, any idiot who has Merry Christmas on his lips should be boiled in their own pudding and buried with a stake of holly driven in their hearts. Ooh, that's cold, man. Yeah, but when you really think about it, if they feel that way, well, it's kind of sad actually that they would feel that way. But at the same time, I'm gonna have to recognize that maybe at one point in their life they did enjoy Christmas, just as Ebenezer Scrooge did, and maybe at one point, and one bad turn came into another. Maybe they were consumed by greed, maybe some bitterness, maybe even some loneliness came into play. And that's kind of sad when it happens. Then there's some that are like the Grinch, that they might want to get rid of the Christmas holiday. There's a lot of individuals who prefer Happy Holidays to Merry Christmas. But when you really think about it, on the one hand, I get it, that yes, Christmas does take place within the same week as Hanukkah. It also takes place within the same week as Kwanzaa, which comes right after Christmas. And it also takes place is within the time frame of winter solstice. And so you have those holidays, but at the same time you also have to recognize that when you really think about it, Christmas is a specific holiday. So during Hanukkah, go ahead and wish someone a happy Hanukkah. Once it's over and Christmas has begun, but even before Christmas begins, go ahead and say Merry Christmas. Don't worry about whether they're offended or not. Don't worry about whether you're stepping on someone's toes, because you're not. Believe me, really you're not. I love Christmas, always have. And even though sometimes it can be frustrating, even turbulent, still, it's about giving, and it's about joy, but most important, it's about love. Yes, if I may touch briefly upon Hanukkah. Hanukkah tells about that miraculous time in which there was only a day's left of oil, maybe an hour. Okay, those of you who are Jewish, please correct me if I am wrong by placing a comment. Or if I happen to be right, then go ahead and attest to that. But the fact of the matter is that they had only a day's left of oil, and for 8 days, as they had light, a fortress under siege. And it was considered a miracle by the standards of those who were there. I know at least that much because I had a teacher. He wasn't necessarily a teacher that I took his classes, but he was Jewish, and so he was able to explain about Hanukkah. And when you really think about it, yeah, that's the best way to do it. If you want to know about someone else's holiday, then ask them. There's even some that want to create something called Chrisma Hana Kwanzaa or something like that, which, interesting enough, that so far looks like it was only short-lived. Well, can't expect everything to catch on. But the point about Hanukkah, yes, it tells about it reminds of a miracle of something that has been survived. Now remember that Christmas is more than just Santa Claus, it's more than just Christmas trees, it's more than just wreath. Above all else, it's about being together with families. And if I may, one of my one of the most interesting things I learned about Christmas would be from how the Grinch stole Christmas. And what happened was that when Theodore Geisel, otherwise known as Dr. Seuss, wrote the story, he wrote it in a week. The interesting thing is that during the time, he was 53 years old at the time when that particular book was published, and he lived right on the top of a mountain known as Mount Soledad. He had a winding road that led up to his house, just as the Grinch had a winding stairwell that led up to his home in Mount Hook. And in the same way that the Grinch was able to look down at Whoville, there was the nearby town of La Jolla, California, and it was from the top of Mount Soledad that Dr. Seuss looked down at La Jolla, and he was deeply concerned about the materialism of Christmas, as were a lot of us, and are a lot of us even today. And that's is why why he wrote How the Grinch Stole Christmas. It also is something that people can relate to because of the fact that so many of us do love Christmas so much. But some of us do hate it a little bit, or even a lot. But, yeah. The best part about Christmas, like I said, it's not about what can I get for Christmas or what can I give, but above all else, how much love can I show on Christmas day. And so this is my story. This might even prove to be a trilogy, just like the Halloween story. So, see you next time.